Hi, welcome back to the channel. So if you've been with me for the month of January, you have noticed that I have done a social project and uploaded quite more footage than I usually do. While I am complete with my trial era, sorry, I'm all gibberish today. And I have figured out what is being viewed more often. So I am going to be doing less now, but I am going to try to get you quality videos sent out to you. So now that I've gotten a lot of practice and know what I want to talk about or do, don't worry, hair videos are still coming. This is a wash and go with Bergen Naturals. Again, I'm so in love with this product line. Stay tuned. I do plan on doing a collaboration with her hopefully soon. So I will be reaching out to her later on today when I know it's nap time probably. To reach out to her to plan something. And I also do have another interview from another home business that I am lining up as well with Oasis. Oh darn. Oasis essential oil. Sorry, Ashley. I have everything written down. Everything's in my room, but my room is a little chaotic because I've been doing nothing but crocheting since Saturday evening. Sorry, people. Or Saturday morning, really. Saturday evening, I took a break and went out with friends. But anywho, regardless. But today's video, and I'm redoing some things because I really want to talk about things that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about. Continuing on, today's video, I really wanted to discuss what financial freedom is and what it is for me. I've been doing a lot of reading. There's actually quite a few books that I've been listening to or reading that pose this question, and now it's been on my mind, and apparently it's affected my dreams as well, because I had a dream about a previous boss that I won't go working for again, but in my dream, we basically confronted our past, and I started working for him again. In the dream, I was on hold for 25 minutes with this young woman that couldn't decide if she was going to tow her vehicle in or something of that matter. And all the time I'm thinking I left my son sleeping on the couch by himself. And I woke up from this dream like, what? I would never, ever, ever do this. Like, this was such a off-the-wall dream. But I realized while I was making my coffee and while I was thinking about it and talking or texting my husband about it, that it must be because I've been thinking so much on what financial freedom is. For me, it's not working for a boss at this moment. And the reason why, and a little bit of backstory, and I'm going to try to say it quickly, because no one wants to watch me for 15-20 minutes chatting about this. Since 18 years old, I've had several jobs. I moved in with my now husband at 19. We did start things a little young, but we've been through a lot, and we learned the financial hurdle early in age because of how many times that we've had to go through penny pinching and a lot of hard times. So we learned that lesson quite early on. And what I'm about to tell you is I'm not a professional by any means. I'm not an expert, nothing of the sort. I am just sharing what I have learned over the years to maybe help ponder the question for yourself as well, if this is something that has popped up for you. So what we have learned over the years is making priorities. Now, for us, for financial priorities, are our bills that are wrapped with our credit are going first. Next in line are those that are crucial, that aren't related to credit, but need to get paid in order for us to still function smartly. That's the way to say it. So let me explain what those two priorities are. So for us, mortgage. I'm so sorry. Mortgage is the top of the list. One, for many reasons, but for first one is because it's the most expensive bill that we do have. Two, because it affects our credit, and if we don't pay it, we obviously can get evicted. So we want the mortgage paid. Like, that is priority. Second in list is his truck. We bought a truck 5 years ago. We're on the last year of our payments. So that is second, because that affects our credit as a whole if we don't pay it. Car insurance is linked in with our car payment, so that's a large sum together. I've been paying extra on that bill to knock off the interest for it. So hopefully this, again, will be our last year paying off the truck. Usually at the beginning of each year, or technically, what I have done is every 6 months for the truck payment is because I know the set amount I want to pay, I set it for 6 months to go ahead and just auto pay for it. And at that 6-month mark, I reevaluate where I am. Do I need to increase? Do I need to decrease? Whichever. Usually it's never decrease. It's always paying more. So I'm at my 6-month mark, which is why also this is probably a subject that keeps popping up in my mind. 6 months as my court, like what I usually want to do. Every half a year I always want to look at it. So mortgage, truck, anything related to the truck. So vehicle maintenance, whatever. Vehicle maintenance is also one that's not necessarily next to as top priority, but it is the next branch. So my car is fully paid off, and we also have a third vehicle that is a restored vehicle, but maintenance for either are up there as far as priority. So it's in the next category of importance. Because without a vehicle, my husband can't get to work, and we can't go and do the things that we need to do as well. So car is up there. The next in line would be bills such as electricity, water, propane, because I have propane in our house. Those type of things are in that same category with car maintenance. Food is also within that as car maintenance. In order for me to budget, I make food as a subject of a bill. So I allot $400 a month for food. And this is for me, my husband, and my son. Dogs included, because they eat a lot. So anything related to food, and this is also including eating out. So if it's outside of my $400 budget for the month, I don't do it. So my husband, he goes to work. He normally brings breakfast, snacks, and lunch. So he needs quite a bit each week to maintain that, so he doesn't have to run out to go get food. Because of the field he's in, his metabolism is still really high. Also, for us to save us money, we don't eat out a lot as far as me and my son go. We make lunch, obviously, at home, take lunch with us if we're on excursions or whatnot. Every now and then, because I'm in a rush or have, had things going on, I will get something, but again, it's within my budget. So that is the second segment. So first segment of priorities is mortgage and car payment with insurance. Next is, also with the mortgage is home insurance. Sorry about that. So next in priority list is car maintenance, food, other bills that don't get related to mortgage. Now, those are priorities. Now, the last bracket of priorities are luxury items. Luxury being Netflix, internet, cell phone. As often as we use our cell phone, we think our cell phone's a priority, but you honestly can survive without it. Trust me, millennials, you can. I promise you, you can. But it's not a necessity. It's a luxury item. So those are in the bottom. So those are the bottom of my totem pole. When I say I set my bills ahead of time, I do everything within my banking account. So I'm going to have a next segment of money saving things that we do. So one of the money saving things is using the banking portion of my app on my phone to set my bills. So we do everything electronically. So mortgage, car payment, home insurance, car insurance, everything, water bill, all of it. I send it through directly from my bank. This saves me on time, checks, and on stamps. Did not think this was a major thing, but it really is. So what I'm saying is I bank with Bank of America for one of my accounts, and they have the option where you can send your bills in through them. They will send it directly to the account, whether it's a printed or written check, or if it's going to be electronic. Some of my bills aren't electronic. They can't accept it electronically, so they have to send out a check. What I do is set the date it needs to be paid on or by, and they send it. After I set it up, I don't have to worry about it again. I just go on to make sure that it was sent, but that's it. That's all I have to do. So like I said, it saves me on stamps, checks, and on time, because I don't have to leave my home to do my banking. I don't have to write checks. I don't have to run out to the post office to go buy more stamps or mail my checks or whatever. And I don't have to worry about sending them out on time. It's all done through the app. And this is not a sponsored video. I have to say, stress that it's not. Once I learned how to do this, and I think a friend for teaching me this, because it really did save so much time. Another money saving thing that we do for heat. In the wintertime, we actually have an inserted fireplace that we use firewood to heat our home. It at least heats half of my home. We do try to transfer the heat onto the other side. We have a little space heater in our son's room just to keep the nippiness out of his room at night. But this is how we save money in the wintertime. So our electric bill can get really high in the wintertime, especially for a big home. So this is, and not that my house is huge, but this is how we were able to save on that in the wintertime. So my electric bill obviously has gone up since I've been a stay-at-home mom, but that is how I reduce it down, by using firewood. And you might think by buying wood or getting wood, for instance, it's a lot of work. It really is. But when you realize how much you're saving by doing the little bit of work that you need to do, it makes it a big difference. So it sounds like a hefty cost, but when they deliver it and all you have to do is stack it and then bring it in when you need it, it makes sense. You know, we paid, I think, $200 for a cord of wood. No, I'm sorry, $140 for this cord of wood, and it's gonna last us half of our season. So if you double that, to do a full season for the winter, to pay for 2 cords of wood, that saves us at least like $400 in savings on our electricity in our area. So there's that. Other cost saving things that we do is plan ahead for grocery shopping. If you know what you need ahead of time, and please believe me, I hate this step. I really do. I royally hate making shopping lists, meal prepping, meal planning, all of it. I hate it all with a passion. However, by not doing so, we do exponentially more spending for that month. And I've realized I have to do it. So my budget is $100 a week on food. And by doing so, by planning ahead of time, I'm able to decide what store I'm going to go to. I'm now surrounded by Aldi and another store called Lidl. And both stores have the same sort of mantra with cost saving on produce and groceries and things like that. So $100 in those stores goes a long way. But if you have to go to a more expensive store, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I have realized for $100 a week, this is where I can go. So planning ahead, knowing what you need, will help you not spend outside money. And I feel like I'm not saying anything new to you, but that's fine. What I have learned is if you set food as a priority like your bills, you will treat it like a bill. You will make sure you're in budget every single month. Besides this fact, outside of setting my priorities, having those different brackets, I also am trying to do something that I've learned actually several years ago as a saving plan. Within our church, we've learned to live on 80% of your income and tithe and give 10% and save the last 10%. If you're unable to live on 80%, then you have to reevaluate how much you're spending so that you can live on 80% to give and to save. So for those that aren't believers, this is totally going to sound taboo to you or ridiculous or whatever. That is on you. For me, I am, and I do believe in giving to our church to help uplift and reach those lost souls. And surprisingly, you're not going to get it back in tangible, something you can hold, evidence that you're doing better. Just surprisingly, we manage on that 80%. What I just said to you with the priorities of my bills is 80% of our income. The other 20% literally goes to savings and into tithing for our church. So I do find that as an important fact to know. When it comes to my savings, I do have actually 2 different accounts with 2 different savings accounts. Here's why. One is for my son. A portion of his savings account is going to go into a fund to grow. I'm not calling it a college fund because, again, we don't know if he's going to go to college. We are going to motivate him to do what he feels he needs to do. Sometimes college is not the answer. You're not going to hear that from everybody, but I am telling the truth. College is not meant for everybody. 2, for any large expenses or hiccups that come up. If he needs to run to the hospital or ER or whatever, I feel good knowing that I have a little bit of a cushion to rely on if something were to happen. Or, for instance, his growth spurt, he needed a new car seat. I was lucky enough to have friends that looked out for me and sent me a link to somebody selling a car seat that was actually brand new and only used maybe a handful of times for her grandkids, that was selling hers. So that saved me about $120. So thank you for sending me that link. So that's where that money came from, was from his savings account. Our other savings account I've allotted for emergencies and for home fund. So for instance, we have the plan of redoing our deck because there's quite a few deck boards that you can see through. It's no longer safe. So we need to replace our deck boards. Also, we have a repair of quite a few different repairs in the home that we need to finish. That's where that money comes from. Or if I need to set money aside for those type of projects, that's where I put the money. And we don't touch it until we reach our goal. One thing I am working on is making a shadow box with our goals on it. So one of the goals we have for this year is paying off his truck. And because I've been paying extra, that is a feasible thing I can do this year, and save up for a down payment for me to upgrade my vehicle. So one of those images is going to be the vehicle that I want. Anytime we want to go on a vacation, which is rare, we'll put that picture up. So again, so it's kind of like making like a visual piggy bank. There are plenty of images on Pinterest that'll show like dropping money in it. Since we never carry cash, we know that that's not what this is going to be, but we're going to have several images of what we want for 2020 to remember why we're saving and why we're not doing as many fun things. So like if I wanted to go out to eat, but I know we have to pay for a babysitter, etc., 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 I look at my vision board and know this is why we're doing this. So we have quite a few things we want to do this year. Me getting a new car is one of them. And not necessarily new, we're looking for used new, but either way, those are some of the things that you can do. So back to the posing question, and I don't necessarily have the answer, but I do pose the question of what is financial freedom and what does it look like for you? The answer for me is not having to worry about whether my priority list of bills are going to get paid each month. Also, financial freedom for me is not having to answer to someone else when it comes to doing what I want to do. And by that, I mean not having a boss. Because I have hopped around a lot, I have gone through different lessons for each job. And I'm not saying I regret any job. I needed each one because I got through different stages of my life. It made me realize that I'm not ready to go back to customer service. I'm not ready for a boss. But that I have the confidence knowing that I do have a skill level that has never left me. I'm very good with customer service. I'm very good with doing the job that I've been asked to do. But I don't want that anymore, if that makes sense. And back then, I literally did think that I had no other option, that I had to work there and be miserable every single day. I had to go there. Yeah, pretty much that summed it up. That I had to be miserable every day, and I don't. You have the option, and everything comes in full circle all the time in my life. A friend of mine just said that to me, that you definitely do have the option, only because she was just told that herself recently. You have the option to do everything. So financial freedom for you is to no longer have a boss and to work for yourself and make your own money. Then that's you need to make that choice. If your financial freedom is to be completely debt-free, if that is a capability in 2020, I don't know if it is, but if it is, then that's what you need to do. But financial freedom for me right now is to not have a boss, and to not worry about money, if that makes sense. I know and believe that God has me protected and is watching over our family. We're continuing to be obedient in His word and to tithe when we can, and to teach our son the morals and values that He wants us to teach him. I don't know if you're a believer or not, but it always stems to that for me. I have to stay true to what He wants me to talk about, and that was one of the subjects today, was financial freedom and what that looks like for you. hopefully you can answer that for yourself. If not, you're pondering on it like I am. Just sit on it for a day or two. It'll come to you. But for me, that is the answer, is to not have to worry about my priorities being handled, and to not have to answer to another boss right now. I like to have the freedom to be there for my son, to help manage the household, and to help my husband to be the head of the household and guide us in the right direction. By me being here, he's able to do that. So yeah, full circle, right? So anywho, I'm gonna sign off because I have some errands I need to run. I have a household to run. I have things I gotta do. So stay tuned. I will have a hair video coming soon. I think I need to trim my hair and do another protein treatment. So I will have things coming to you soon. As far as hair goes, I do have a couple interviews and collaborations I'm working on doing. So stay tuned for that. That'll be next month. But yeah, in the meantime, stay true to you. Do what you gotta do to make your financial dreams come true. I hope you liked this video. If you did, I would love it if you hit that like button. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. You're so silly. Oops, careful, careful, careful. You're gonna break my camera stand. Earn it, buddy. Candy. Do you want, how about you get a yogurt? Would you like a yogurt?
No.
No? There's a yogurt smoothie in the fridge for you.
Candy.
Candy? No. I hope that intrigues a question for you. You want peanut butter jelly now? Okay, I think we can do that. For any of you that always wonder what my son does, this is what he does. He comes to me with bread bag and jelly. Jelly? Peanut butter jelly? Yeah. Well, I guess my video's over now. That's my homemade jelly, buddy. Isn't it yummy? Yeah, it's a little sticky, huh?